morning, Flosstube. Welcome to Flossmas day 6. It's Friday, it's 10:25 in the morning, back at normal time. I was just out this time yesterday with Maddie, so this is we're calm this morning. I'm the only one in. Richard's on an early, Flora's at school, Maddie's at work. So yay. So yesterday I was in a bit of a blur when I posted. I knew it's funny when you post every day, you have that, I really should get my video out, trying to make it about the same time, but obviously I was out, so I couldn't. And then after I'd done my video, it took, an hour and a half to just sort itself out, to process into something I can post on the internet with the edits and everything. Don't know why it took so long, just painful. Anyway, video went up in the end. I've had lots of lovely comments. Yeah, lots of frogging yesterday. I have finished my frogging. And I have restarted. So here we go. Here is the bookseller as it is now, in the correct place. As you can see, I've got the edge now of the Daily News. I don't know how much more of the Daily News I did last night. Not very much, I don't think. But there's definitely a lot more in the Daily News there than there was before. There's a big burgundy strand hanging out there. I can probably just plop him over there and get him out of the way there. So the Daily News is there, which has now got enough work in it, I think, to leave it for now and carry on. So I'm concentrating now on the bookseller, getting my stitches back into this. It was at 1100. There's now 300. I've put 300 stitches back in. So I've gone all the way, learn from my mistakes, I've gone all the way across to the edge there. And I'm going to do this with all of them from now on, go all the way along the bottom and then work up wherever I fancy working up, so that I don't make another silly mistake. And yesterday evening I did start the clock shop, which should have been yesterday's start. He's now, and then I went back to my frogging. So there is the clock shop here with the doorway and the trees either side, and again I've gone right to the edge there. So we now have 5 in process, 3 with lots of work and 2 that have both got around about the clock shop's got 400 stitches in it, and the bookseller's redone 300. So, and I frogged out the very last little bit this morning there, and I'm afraid I went with, because it was 3 strands, if it's 1 strand cross stitch I'll unpick stitch by stitch. Because it was 3 strands, as I'd stitched, I'd split into the DMC every single stitch. It was almost impossible to unpick neatly, so I just went with absolutely cutting through it. I cut through it on the front, as many loops as I could cut, turned it over and literally put my scissors flat and cut as much of the bulk off the back as I could, and then just pulled out the tufts and then got my needle in and whittled all of it out. So it's all frogged out and we're going again with that. So that's there. And this morning I got my days all wobbledy. It's actually tomorrow I'm going to sit and stitch all day long on my treasure hunt bookshelf. It's only Friday today. I thought it was Saturday. Saturday is my day I've slated for treasure hunt bookshelf, because the kids are all going to be here and it's a really good day for me to get into the conservatory, get myself as cuddled up and cozy as I possibly can, and yeah, just get myself stitching. But I have been stitching on it this morning, and I stopped and came through to record because I'd hit exactly 500 stitches so far for today. So it now looks like this. I've been putting in 833, which the majority of the 833 was here, and a little bit up here. It's definitely looks like a bit of a cliff to me here, and a little bit of something on the cliff. I'm now kind of interested and invested. I still have not looked at the picture. I could have just looked, in the end I looked and I saw it was Cinderella, but I haven't looked at the picture yet. I'm going to get these stitches into this before I look at my picture and see what it is, and I'll be like, oh yeah, obviously that's what it is. As I said yesterday, it does look very much better to see the pattern, whereas when you're looking at it and just stitching, it's a lot more difficult. But to see what's emerging. But I'm going to carry on in this frame here with my stitches for right now. And I've done 500 today already. I'm going to try and do another at least 500 before it's time to go and get my kids. And yeah, all is good with that. Perhaps on the back burner for today, maybe put it in the car to take with me when I go to get Flora, if I remember to put it in the car, because I'm awfully sad if I haven't got one with me. Yeah, so that's pretty my stitching out of the way. And I forgot to post yesterday. I took some pictures when we got into Kezwick, which was our last stop before coming home, which was where we were on foot walking through the little pedestrian-y bit. That's Kezwick, which is your gateway to the lakes there, and it's so pretty. It's a bit cold. We went in lots of little sort of touristy, what we call grockle shops. It's sort of holiday-ish and knick-knacky and gifty shops. It's full of places like, there's mostly pubs and sweet shops and chocolate shops and gift shops mostly, and outdoors clothes. So Maddie and I walked up through, and one of the first shops we actually went past was a Lucy Pittaway shop, and in the window was Sycamore Gap, and that was a print, and it's not even a limited, it is signed, but it's not a limited edition. She is just printing them. I think that was £600. It's big, but wow. And then we went inside, walked all the way around, and you can buy everything from like diaries to pencils to tea towels to original artwork. And she had two original artworks down tucked right at the back in the corner. This one here that Maddie is standing by in an enormous poncho cape thing. It absolutely drowns her. That was very, very pretty. I like that very much. And then this one here was the original actual painting, as opposed to the prints. They've got the prints in every size, shape of everything there, but that was an actual original artwork, and it's £12,000. So I'm very happy to be stitching my little Bothy Threads kit of Sycamore Gap, which I will thoroughly enjoy doing a whole page on in WhipGo next year. So yeah, it was lovely to see a really big one. It is a beautiful picture, the Sycamore Gap, and it's, you know, front and centre in the window. But I forgot to put them up. I was trying to rattle through. I was still a bit discombobulated with having to rip out 1100 stitches, which was just like disheartening. And normally I don't frog a great deal, but seriously, that was in totally the wrong place, and it would have thrown out the whole of the piece. So yep, it's done, it's frogged, I'm restitching. So at the moment I'm putting in a big chunk on my treasure hunt bookshelf, 250 stitches, and then I'm putting in maybe 2 strands into my my Mill Hill extravaganza at the moment. That's kind of how the pattern is at the moment. Yeah, so I'm going to keep on with that now while my video sorts itself, and I post my video. And I'm going to carry on until Richard gets home from work, which hopefully will be just before 1, and then I'll go out just before 2 and go up and get a little bit more from my storage unit, just have a little look, see what's actually left, see if we can get it all into Richard's car, and if we can, we might well just go and get it, and then I can get the box sorted and done. It'll have to come into the conservatory. The downstairs bathroom is packed to not quite to the ceiling. The downstairs bathroom is packed to about here, with just the path to the sink and the toilet. The whole of the wet shower room bit, which is it's all one room, but like that whole piece is just packed with stuff that requires further sorting. There's a good chunk of stuff I need to chuck on eBay, get shot of, and yeah, so I'll get through that. But it's all out of the living room. I got myself thoroughly allergic. I'm not very good with dust. That's very bad in my old house. Everything was incredibly dusty. That's why I'm not very domestic. It's why I don't do a lot of cleaning. I'm very allergic to it. I was itchy, my eyes were itching, the roof of my mouth was itching, my sinuses were full, and you know, just felt like I could just scratch them somehow. And I was really rattly all last night, which was super fun because we moved it all, because I've been sorting into stuff for charity. There's 4 big full my dad's double wine boxes that he gets from Virgin Wines. There's 4 of those full in the boot of Richard's car for charity. Everything from books to knickknacks to toys that are in good enough condition to be resold, you know, to be thrifted essentially, to crockery, to kitchen stuff, or just stuff I'm just turning up, don't need anymore, but it's perfectly good. I think I filled about 12 bin bags, and then there's all the old drawers, the baskets, the boxes, the cardboard, the things I took from the big bread boxes I took from work to fill. They're all out the front. We'll do a tip run tomorrow. See, we might do a tip run and then go on to the storage unit and empty it, which will affect my treasure hunt bookshelf stitching. But if I've done a lot today, we'll see how we go. Might just sacrifice an hour and a half of my day to get all of that done. Because we have quite a big window before the kids get up. His kids, they don't really have bedtime Friday night or Saturday night. They come in on for teenage, you know, they're 11, 13 and 15. So they don't really turn out until about 11, 12. So we've got a good few hours in the morning where we can get something done when they're all still tucked up sleeping. I know I'll be up early tomorrow because Flora's going to the Edinburgh markets tomorrow, assuming the trains are running. We've got Dara coming through, another named storm coming through, which as we've learnt, just affects the railways. So of course it's this day Flora's going up to Edinburgh, but it's actually about an hour north. So on the fast train, it's only an hour north, so hopefully she'll be okay. Yeah. So we moved everything. I got really ratchety, yeah, and then the other stuff was just stuff I was just piling into plastic storage boxes to be sorted further. Can't sort it further now, my brain won't do it, so just to be done later sort of thing. So it's all out of the living room. He's got his living room back, which it was making him very stressed. And then the stuff that could go up into the loft, we opened the loft hatch and we piled it all into the loft. My next job, once my unit's all sorted, is to go up to the loft and start to sort the stuff in the loft, which I'm going to really just start at one corner and do the whole loft. He's got 20 years of his life up there in the loft as well, plus a lot of his mum's things because she moved in with him. So I've got an awful lot to sort out in the loft, but it's perishing up there. So I'm going to be setting a timer and I'm going to be doing like half an hour a day is all I'm probably going to manage. But I put the loft, I got a loft ladder, you know, one that you just like who can pull down rather than getting the step ladders and rickety step ladder. It's pulled down, it's secure, so I can nip up there. It's already all got proper light. In the UK, our lofts, our attics are not these big walk around, oh, it's all lit, there's window. We've got a dark cavernous thing. This loft is about as nice as I'm ever going to meet, I think. My other loft in my old house is not good, really frightening. Like cut the spider webs with a pair of scissors to make it's like a horror movie up there. Yeah, there's none of that in this loft, but it's full of stuff. So I'm going to get on and get all that sorted because I've put an awful lot of my stuff up there, which I need to sort into. This child, that child, that child. My wool is up there, my yarn store, which is 14 big plastic, like 70 litre plastic boxes of yarn. I was a knitter. Anyway, yeah, so that's all to do. So I got very bunged up doing that. It was horrible. So last night I just sat and did some unpicking and did some stitching there. So that was fine. But yeah, I was a bit of a blur and I forgot to mention like 27 things when I did my video, so yeah, it is what it is. A very kind gift from a very nice floss tuber who is Mad Morty and the Brom, I think. You know when you watch someone and you think, is that, I don't know. Anyway, I'll put it up here. She sent me a lovely snuggly blanket to help me keep nice and cuddly in the cold conservatory, which is absolutely lovely, and I will have that. It actually matches my living room perfectly. So it's going to live in there, but I'll bring it through here with me tomorrow to keep me nice and snug while I'm stitching, unless I'm running around to the tip or whatever. So thank you very much for that, very much appreciated. She's doing Flossmas, puts a video up in the evening, so go and have a little look at her if you don't know her and watch her. I always just assume everybody watches. It's really silly. I know, it's so silly. I just assume everybody watches who I watch. Anyway, okay, I am going to go, and it's only a 15-minute video today. We're getting shorter, only because I don't have a great deal to show you. We'll see how we get on tomorrow. I did get some of my threads for my Cross Stitch Studio. Sal started to hang them on the plastic keyring things, which is good. Somebody posted and I'd forgotten about them. I did know about these things. Instead of having the fixed rings, you can get cables that screw together, and you can get big ones. So I will order some of those. Thank you very much to the person who reminded me that they exist, because I did know about them, but I forgot. I certainly don't have any yet, but I've got them in my Amazon basket now. I'm going to do one big Amazon order with present for my dad, present for my mum, bits and bobs for people now. I'll do one big order, and then once everything's here, that'll be me. I can do some wrapping up. I'm not doing big on Christmas this year. I've not got many people to buy for. I've got my 4 kids, little something for Richard. We're not doing big. We're not doing big Christmas this year for each other, because it's a bit of a skinny year for us both. And my parents, my sister and my 2 nephews, that's really the only people I need to buy for. So it's not too bad at all for me this year. And Maddie's already had her presents. Basically, I'm just going to get her some chocolate and some Christmas tree decorations, and that's it. Because she's already had her walking boots and her train tickets. Well, but the money in lieu of the train ticket. So we'll see how we get along. My other children, Flora and Lizzie, have not told me what they would like for Christmas yet, so we're running out of time, so they're going to have to come up with something quick, or I'll make it up myself, which is generally what happens. Okay, so today is the 6th, so I have a little packet. Now, I think almost everybody who got a box from me has a 6. I think almost everybody, because I went a bit bananas making these. And I'm going to open up my little 6. So this one in particular is going to be today's giveaway, whichever one is in this little packet. It's a very little packet, but I think very useful. Something I don't normally make. It's a needle threader, and it is a string of lights. So it kind of goes, but it's navy blue. Oh my goodness me, that's miles away. Here we go. It's navy blue rather than teal. Don't know if you can tell. The needle minder is teal and this is navy blue, sparkly. And when I did the string of lights, I was terrified that the string was translucent, because white polymer clay and translucent polymer clay look very similar before they're baked. The clay does not go translucent until it cools down. And I wasn't terribly sure, but it turns out it had enough white. It is slightly translucent. It had enough white in it. It was so malleable and so lovely to work with. I knew there was a lot of translucent in it, because the translucent's very, very soft, whereas normal polymer clay can be a bit of a battle. Anyway, so we've got the string of lights, the same, with a big loop there, and this is the loop for my cross stitch needles. They are incredibly fine. Anyway. 6. So leave me any kind of comment. As I say, I love getting loads of comments. I love Flossmas because I get so many comments. It's so lovely. Leave me any kind of comment, and I will do the random comment picker about this time tomorrow. So you've got around about 24 hours to leave me a comment to be in the dip for number 6. I'll put number 6. I've heard from my number 2 and my number 4 ladies, so that's lovely. I'll probably post early next week, Monday, Tuesday, so they should hopefully be with you before Christmas. So I'm going to find, this is my box of my loose items, my spare set. There is another 6. They're all very similar. I sat and I made a lot of these. There's not a lot of leftovers though. As I said, I put almost everyone got one in their box, so there's not a lot of leftovers. There are a couple. So tomorrow, once I've done the dip, number 6. There will be a few 6s listed on eBay, and as I said, eBay's obviously not going to work for me because yeah, it doesn't seem to be. Obviously, the only traffic is coming from Flossmas, but there's no traffic, so that's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine, absolutely fine. I will sort out when I sort out an alternative to Etsy. Hopefully, through the back end of this year and into next year, I'll list all my Flossmas extras in my new shop, which I'm thinking is now going to be a Shopify shop with a link through Instagram. So whenever I mention it in my FlossTube video, the link will be there. And whenever I list like a batch of new things, I'll put a post up on Instagram and link it then. And I think that's the only way I'll get any, you know, I'm not going to get the Etsy traffic. So it is what it is. And I do have extras. I will list them up. And eventually, I suppose, they'll sell. So there we go. Little needle threader going through for today's giveaway. Leave me a little comment, and if you've got a 6 in your box, I hope it's a useful tool. As I say, it's not something I normally make, but I always, when you're thinking of 12 items and I make needle minders and scissor fobs, it's like, okay, you can't have 6 needle minders and 6 scissor fobs because that's too many. You can never have too many needle minders, especially if you use paper patterns, but scissor fobs, yeah, we top out at 2 or 3 pairs of scissors, I think. I have 2 or 3 pairs that I can usually find, and the ones I can usually find are the ones with the scissor fobs that Lizzie's made me on. So yeah, I've tried to think of a few different things which will start to emerge over the next few days. So there's your number 6. I hope it's a very useful little tool, and I will see you about this time tomorrow, and we'll do the draw for the 6, see who wins that. And right now I'm going to go and carry on. I'm going to do a little bit more in this, and my clock shop needs another day, so I'm going to kind of work on them both. And probably now I've got all this, I set it like there so I could finish frogging, because it was the doorway was the last bit to frog out, because that was really full coveragey stitching and it was really hard to get out, so I just had to just cut it out. As I said, I'll now probably move the Q-snap so that I've got half of this one and half of that one, so I can work on this edge and that edge, so that I can work on them both on the same. Just keep my threads very separate so that I know where I am. I'll see you tomorrow with a bit of progress on this, and tomorrow we'll be starting whichever one's this side. My list is just over there. We'll find out tomorrow. Whichever one is this side of this little cat is tomorrow's start, and we'll give away numbers, and I'll do the draw for number 6. So have a lovely day, whatever it is you're doing today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.